We learn so many of our beliefs from childhood, and those beliefs are formed because of the things we go through, the things we experience, and those are formed because of the things we go through, the things we experience, and those moods tend to develop as our personality develops. Now, when we speak of moods, I'm talking about that roller coaster emotional thing we all go through. And every color has a feeling attached to it and also a meaning. And most of the time, most of the times that we experience these mood fluctuations, we don't even know where they come from. And where they come from is that ingrown place that we have states of being, little place where all our check boxes live, that we say, okay, we like this, we don't like that, we feel like this about those things. And we form our beliefs based on the tick boxes, based on the set of things we learned as we go. Now, today I noticed a little something about myself. I noticed that I could keep myself preoccupied and busy for hours on end without actually doing anything. And we all know what that is called. It's called procrastination. And if you suffer from procrastination, it might be that there is some part of you that is in resistance of the thing you need to get done. And one way I've been able to get myself to sit down and do those, let's call them difficult things, is by noticing when my mood is trying to stop me from doing what must be done. So having this little place to come to and being able to track your own mood is one of the most insightful things you can ever do to be on your own side. And you see, when we are in procrastination mode, we are in conflict with our own minds. We are fighting that thing that wants to live within us. And we tend to fight it with resistance. So instead of resisting the inevitable, why not just embrace 15 minutes of your time, stop everything else you're doing, and bring yourself to this place where you can identify the mood you're in and feel what it feels like to put everything in perspective. You don't have to add a little face or create something that looks like a finished page. But when you've put those moody colors down, and yours might not even look colorful like that, it might be muddy and brown and neutral or on a totally different scale than what I'm feeling today. But the idea is to put it down on paper, get it out of your system, loosen up your mind so that you can stop that thing you're doing that is keeping you from doing the difficult things. Now, I'm not even going to create a little person here today. I just want something that could represent my feelings of wanting to blossom amidst all the to-do lists that never seem to stop. And if I can get past this feeling of resistance, let's call it what it is, resistance, I will feel more inclined to want to do the other things. And, it doesn't even have to be anything difficult. Sometimes we have resistance for the smallest things, like washing the previous night's dishes, or having to go to town for a little bit of shopping. It's only resistance that's keeping us from doing those things. It's not that you maybe don't like shopping. It's just that there's some small part of it that you don't enjoy. And now nothing feels like the thing you want to do when your thoughts wander down the let's go shopping lane and whatever else you're feeling or resisting. Noticing that will help you break free and unlock sometimes a hidden thing, and at other times something that you've known all along, and just unravel now that you are more relaxed. And that's the tricky part, is we are so used to living from one stressful moment to the next that we forget how quickly we get absorbed into stressful situations. Now, another thing this joyful, colorful, playful thing will help you with is to ease your mind, relax so that you can focus, and stop that inner critic. That inner critic will come around and tell you, yes, but that blob doesn't need to look like this, or oh, you messed that up, or anything to get you to not do the work that needs to be done. And when you notice that inner critic literally complaining in your ear, in the back of your mind, come to your page, quiet that mind, quiet the voice inside. Not the positive, uplifting one you're supposed to be listening to, but the negative Nancy that's been nagging for attention. And let's face it, that part of all of us is not just a little bit negative, sometimes a lot negative. In other words, very negative. And you are the only one that can get that part of your brain to step aside and allow wonderful new thoughts to come in. And yes, this is for you if you feel like you don't have time for this type of thing in the middle of your day. Let me tell you, that's exactly when you need it, is when you are in resistance of relaxing. If you don't allow yourself to relax for 5 minutes, then this is exactly what you need. And no, it's not a waste of time. What it is a session where you can reflect on what's going on inside of you. And with that series of noticeable moods, you can now clearly understand, I'm feeling negative or resistant towards this thing because I used to get into trouble for not doing X, Y, Z, or it brings up bad memories and I don't want to relive those memories, or I just don't like doing the dishes because I have to stand there all alone in the kitchen. There are so many things that you could form a resistance against, and they will live in your mind until you pinpoint them and give them somewhere to live. So while I was doing this little piece here, I sort of started feeling better about going and doing the dishes, because I realized that it's not me in resistance of doing the dishes. It was my resistance to being in the kitchen alone. I didn't want to be there while everybody else was having fun and doing things I would want to do, but now I had to be in the kitchen doing the dishes. So you'll never know how all those things boil down to the way our moods fluctuate until you sit down and figure them out. So I discovered that about myself today, and I wonder what you would discover about yourself when you really dive into this creative mood analysis session and learn something about yourself. Now, a really handy tip would be to ask yourself while you're picking out the colors, why am I feeling resistance? Why does it feel like I want to procrastinate around this thing? And in that moment, you will realize and then give yourself grace. And nearly all our belief systems are ingrained into our being from childhood. And that ingrained emotional reaction will always match your beliefs. Now, we all, in some way, believe that we don't want to be alone and that we deserve to be surrounded by friends and people and be part of all of those happy things that happen. And when we are not part of it, when we don't feel part of it, it sort of makes us feel left out. And if you can notice that state within you, whether you're feeling that or not, then go beyond those limitations and discover that a few moments of alone time, like the little creative practices in a little sketchbook like this one, is exactly what you need to unlock certain things. And that being alone isn't the problem. It is just our thoughts around it.